Next step, what I did this time is I actually put my bike on a table and just put a couple of straps just to hold it straight on the table while I put the motor in. Okay. The first step is to put this bolt that runs through here, which is a longer bolt with a funny little head on it. This is for the spring. So what you want to do is get your motor, you want to bring it up and have it in line with the other one. So I've just got my engine in, I can then lift it, should be able to push it in, give it a bit of a wiggle, you know, and it will eventually just slide through like that, and just let it rest. Mine actually rests just on top of my brake pedal, which is good, that's fine. Next step is to lift your motor and slide either a brick or something similar in there just to support your motor. And you don't want the brick resting on those exhaust bolts. Next step is to bring our throttle body down and sit that in the motor. You might have to twist this part here around till it slides in nice and easy, just like that. And then you should just be able to twist the cap back on. Just making sure it works. Give your throttle a bit of a blip, and you should just be able to hear it open and close. The next step, once you've got your throttle body on, is to grab the other bolt that supports the motor, lift up your motor, and this bolt should slide in very easily, just like that. Now your motor's sitting there supported, you can remove all the bricks and blocks of wood you've had and put them out of harm's way. The next step is there's a pipe that runs from your carby into your motor, and that actually, you might need a flathead screwdriver just to help you. You just need to put that on. Once that's on, next step you want to do is put your carby on, remembering to put your air cleaner onto your carby, remembering to undo this bolt up the top here, so it just makes it a bit easier to do. Okay, so we just put our carby just there. You should be able to just wiggle it a bit and it might slide on. You might also have to just pop it on using a screwdriver, just slide it. And so it's sitting on it just like that. Next you want to grab that bolt and a 10mm socket and get these 3 holes lined up. And then do that bolt up nice and tight. Once that's done up, you can then put our carby clip back on. You might be able to do this with your fingers, but a screwdriver is probably easier. Just like that, just slide it on. just like that. Then you want to tighten the bolt down the bottom here. Next thing you're going to want to do, once you've tightened up the ring, is put your fuel line back on. Squeeze it down. Get a pair of pliers, preferably needle nose. You should be able to press the clip together and drag it down. Once your fuel line's on, the clip should be back on too. Want to get this other line here, and that connects on the other side of the carby. You shouldn't have to remove your clip to do this. The next step you want to do is connect your wires back up. So like we had before, clear and clear. Slides in nice and easily. And black and black. Also slides in easily. Then put all the cords back, put the dust cover around it, and just close the lid, as you could call it. This next one here, I'm going to put this cord in there, clip the drainage point of our fuel line in, and then you can just push that bit of metal back in, and that stops it from moving anywhere. Right, so I think we're just about done. Only thing we have to do is put our cover on and do up our support bolts for our motor. We'll do the support bolts first. So you're going to want to put both bolts on, just slightly on. This one here, you're going to put a ring spanner on it, on the nut. You're going to tighten it from the bolt. This is just because it makes it just a whole lot easier. Because it's quite a long thread. As you can see. Getting right to the end. Make sure it's very tight, just like that. You're then going to want to get your spanner. On the other side. You're going to want to put this one on the other side. And do this bolt up on this side. You should be able to get it started with your fingers. But after that, just give it a tight wrench. So now our motor is supported in our frame very easily. The next thing you want to do, I took my kickstarter off just to make life for me a bit easier. Now I'm going to want to put that back on. Preferably you want to have it straight. Actually, preferably you just want to have it just a bit off straight, so it just makes it a bit easier just to kick it. Get it on, let's give it a tighten with a 10mm. Once you put your kickstart back on, and go ahead if you want to, put your spark plug on. Mine's a bit munted, so put that on. Next you want to grab your exhaust pipe. First of all, remove the bolts for the exhaust pipe and put them out in front of you. So first of all, what I think is easiest, I put my exhaust bolt up the top on, just slightly, just so it hangs there. And then I move over to the actual exhaust. And got that in. Just like that. And put those two bolts both on. I'm going to need a 10mm wrench or a spanner. Just like that. After that, you just want to do your exhaust bolts up and your exhaust nice and tight. Next step is to put your plastic cover over your exhaust. Do this, get this white piece here, find where the weld is on your bike, have it just before the weld, should slide in, bring it forward, pop it in, get your bolt, there you go, just like that. Next thing you're going to do is put your foot pegs and stand on. It's fairly easy once you get one bolt in place. Here's those two with a tighten and put the next two on. Your next step is to go ahead and take off your brake clippers here. Pop it through the hole, your brake lever all the way back. Push your rod forwards, mine's a bit stiff. Push it on, roughly to where you want it. And so on and so forth. Next step is to put your brake spring back on. Put it through the gap. Ooh. Okay, so now I've got my spring on. All good. Only the last bit we need to do is put our sprocket on our case and put our chain on. So you want to grab your sprocket, take those two bolts out, put your sprocket in your chain, about to find a nice spot, just like that, fits on. Grab the little sprocket holder, wiggle it in somewhere. Spin it around. Last thing, just make sure your sprocket doesn't slide off. Next step is to put our side case on. Just find the rough spot where it might be. Get an 8mm socket. Right. Put your chain guard on. You first want to remove your two bolts. Put the chain guard in. Put this little knob that sits out. You want to lock that in. Have it just freely sitting there. And there you have it, a fully rebuilt Crf70. Next thing you want to do is put your oil in your motor. This is the first time we've started up. Choke on, fuel on. As you can see, that's very easy.